Good morning, everyone. I trust you're all well on this wonderful and beautiful Monday morning here in the Western Cape, Cape Town. My name is Chef Heidi Hickman, and I'm going to be hosting this amazing webinar on trends and insights in the deli space for 2022. And my guest speaker and host for today is Chef Mary Worthington. She has joined us all the way from KZN, the wonderful city of Durban. Unfortunately, we've had to change a couple of things last minute. Thank you for understanding about last week's webinar that we had to postpone, but I hope that this morning will be a fulfilling event and that the information that myself and Chef Mary will be sharing and discussing will enlighten you within your deli space. And yes, from my side, I'd just like to obviously welcome you all once again. And I'm going to now hand over to Kirsty. Are you going to do a little bit of an intro for us on the do's and don'ts of the webinar? Okay. Right. So, good morning, Chef Mary.
Good morning, Chef Heidi. How are you?
Hi. Are you on mute? Maybe just unmute yourself for us.
Story. I'm not on mute.
Mary, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I'm not hearing you at this time. Perhaps.
Can you hear me now, Heidi?
I still can't hear you, unfortunately.
Guys, I need some help here, please.
Still can't hear you. Can you hear me?
We'll get it sorted out. Just hang on one sec.
Chef Heidi, we can hear you.
Still can't hear you.
All right.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Heidi? Oh, she can't hear nothing. Okay. So it's from her side. Check she's unmuted.
Okay. I'm still not hearing anything. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. Awesome. After all of that. Sorry about that. Right, Mary, welcome once again. It's great to have you on board, and I look forward to spending this half an hour with you to discuss the trends and insights in, and I think it's nice that we discuss both, looking at what's happening in the deli space within KZN. I know you have a lot of experience when it comes to your insights and what you've obviously gathered over the years. I know one of your passions is obviously looking after our chains and local chain accounts within Unilever, as well as your deli space, which has always been a passion of yours. And I know you do a lot of training in KZN on all the wonderful activations that we have on offer. So just looking at the current trends within the environment, how have you seen it grow within the KZN area? What have you seen? How have things changed, especially through the times that we've just gone through? How have you seen a change, and have you seen that a lot of the deli operators have started to perhaps adapt and do things differently?
So thank you for that, Heidi. Yes, I think, look, we have gone through a couple of things. So, besides COVID, we've also had riots here in KZN last year, July. We've just gone through 2 floods. But you know what? KZN has come back stronger. And I definitely think in the deli space, people have downscaled, and now, things are getting better. So they're now starting to expand, what their daily offerings are. I think that they're definitely working smarter, and, they're working out what is making them good GPs, because of course that's what's, important. And there's a lot of money to be made in your deli if you run it well and work smartly with your staff. We are seeing quite a few changes. We're starting to see some revamps in stores, which is really great in the retail space. We're starting to see quite a bit being branded. So, and of course, we know that chicken is a top seller, in all forms. So whether it's grilled, fried, in a wet dish, a roasted, chicken is always the top seller. So that is definitely always there. And then if you have a look at your hot counters, we're definitely seeing that, and I'm seeing a trend that customers their palates are evolving, and they're starting to look for some new flavors to come through, and they're willing to try maybe an extra veg and things like that. It's not just your traditional meal where it was maybe chicken and a starch or chicken and pup. They'll have try a little veg or something on the side. And we're also seeing a lot of health coming through, which has been a trend for a while. So a lot of healthier options, a lot of veg, and a lot more vegan. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in your space.
I must agree with you there. Looking at the smarter way of working, I think that is such a critical point and a key insight to what we're seeing. And I think, when you talk about smart ways of working, it's more about how we become more organized and we adapt, like you said, to the changes we've obviously been going through. And yet again, we touch on wastage. How can we make sure, and I've seen that in many of the stores here, it's making sure that we keep things to a minimum. And what I mean by that is producing enough over a certain amount of time, trying to keep it as fresh as possible. And those are kind of like key points that have come out. And yes, with regards to the protein offerings, I've seen a huge change with, if you look at your top dishes and what we've obviously gathered from an insight perspective, we've noticed that your top dishes will still gear around your classical dishes. And what I mean by that is, for instance, those dishes that get the operators to come into your store and buy. And yes, we know that it's about flavor, it's about taste, but yet again, we're looking at packaging, and we can talk about that on another day, because that's quite an intense discussion. Because for us, we all eat with eyes, and we know that as chefs and as customers that enter these stores, we know that they eat with eye. And I think that's also very, very important to make sure to try and reduce that waste and to keep that cost and to make that GP. All of this creates that 360 approach where if we don't have those specific things in place, we won't see an increase and obviously a demand, and yet again trying to make that reduce the wastage. And like I said, it's a complete circle. So yes, we've seen a lot of that here. We've seen a lot of the operators asking us, can we go back to the basics? And that is basically what we've done in 2022. We've refocused on going back and saying, yes, these are your top dishes. This is what you've said to us, and this is what we can help you with from a food solutions perspective. How have you seen the top dishes changing in the KZN area? Have you seen a change? Are we still looking at those top fives, like your stews, your curries, your grab and go, like you said, is a big one?
Yeah. So Chef Heidi, I think for me, what I am seeing is you've still got your core, which is like your everyday dishes, which would be your chicken, your grills, your chips, and all those sort of things. Those everyday dishes would be there. But I think now customers are starting to get a little bit more adventurous. They're looking for a little bit more excitement. So they're looking for that chef special. They're looking to see what you've got new. on your counter that they can try. As I said, their palettes are definitely evolving. Grab and go seems to definitely have grown. I am finding that what I see is that customers don't have a lot of time to spend at the counter. They are happy to quickly grab a ready packed meal. And that packed meal could be, a hot meal which is presented cold. So they'll take it home and they'll reheat it in their own time in their own home. So I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing that some of the cold counters are definitely expanding so that it's a pick up and go.
Yeah.
But you've got a nice variety, whether it's a take-home hot meal presented cold, whether it's a snack item, a sandwich, a salad, a wrap, or a beautiful, nice, healthy salad. I'm definitely seeing that there. And then, of course, a little sweet treat on the side. So whether it's a little jelly and custard, or a chocolate mousse or something like that. And I am seeing that is smaller.
Yes.
Sorry, that is
No
smaller
problem.
because it's seen as a treat.
Yes.
And what I think is nice in that counter is that items are marked. Customers want to know, it's what they've got in their pocket to spend. So they're individually priced. They know their salad is 20 Rand or 39.99, and they know they've got that to spend. Yeah, so I am definitely seeing more of that.
That cross-selling is so critical in making your deli a profitable deli. And I think sometimes that is where a lot of the operators kind of like fall short, because we focus on, yes, a green salad. We focus on, for instance, a pasta salad. But now, and you mentioned it earlier on, and I'm going to go back to what we discussed, and you asked me about trends that are currently happening in the Western Cape. One of our biggest trends is vegan, so the Veganism Market. And for me, just seeing how that has evolved, and it's not just about people being true vegans, it's about the choices those operators are starting to make. Because people want to see something more than just a protein offering. They want to be able to, like you said, pair something up that could be a vegan offering with still having their protein. Meat-free Mondays are not just meat-free Mondays any longer. It's actually becoming part of the week, part of that 7-day cycle. And I think that is so important. And the feedback that I've also gotten from a lot of the delis out there is, give me something that I can work with, that I can basically offer over a 7-day or over a monthly cycle, that I can bring something in that the vegan market is touched on, maybe from a grab and go perspective, but also from a cross-functional selling perspective. And I think that is where that GP can really make a difference in how much you want to make. And once again, and I keep on focusing on the wastage side. I think that is the only way you can make a deli profitable, especially in today's times. The other very important one for me is obviously looking at staff. We know, and I know that a lot of the feedback we get is that my staff turnover is just so high. How can I make it better? And that is where obviously Unilever Food Solutions offers online trainings, and we're going to touch on Ufs Academy and our Fair Kitchens, what we offer from a Fair Kitchens perspective. But we know that, the turnover staff, but how do you feel we could make that less of not a worry, but less of a concern to those deli owners? And how can we help them in that space? And what have you seen that's worked well in KZN?
So yes, for me, I've always been passionate about upskilling staff. And I think, that's just not a once off. If you look at some of the staff that are employed in a deli, they're amazing and they really, really work hard every single day. But sometimes they actually just need that bit of guidance, and they just need that bit of training. We've all come from different backgrounds, and we haven't all had the opportunity to go to chef school. So, this is where we can fit in, and we can actually help with training. They need a nice, strong deli supervisor or manager that can actually oversee and implement if there's any new updated or training that needs to be done. And training should be done every day. Every day, somebody should be learning something new that they didn't know. And it's the only way. And that together with customer service is just so important, because it's going to really help your deli grow and go a long way into being a profitable department in that retail store.
And you know what, we can all talk about a customer experience, one that we've liked, one that we've disliked. And I think sometimes it's more the negative that we focus on, and we kind of like, I mean, we also go into a store and we go and we purchase something from the grab and go counter, or, you know, we constantly also looking after ourselves because we're working moms and working families. But yes, very important is the customer service aspect, because that can either make or break that deli experience. And I think it's so critical, like you said, bringing in something small every single day, making sure that that supervisor not only supervises that counter, but also makes sure that they give back to the staff in some way. Maybe something small, reminding them of how great they look today, how neat they look today, how presentable they look, for instance. Or it's just the way they've prepared those dishes. Wow, you know, you've really gone the extra mile today. And that again focuses on what we offer from a Fair Kitchens perspective, is making sure that you work together as one team. And that is the platform we have on ufs.com. For those that don't know about this platform, it's all about just making sure that you work together as one. And once again, making sure that that team revolves around talking to each other, making sure, and like you said, we all come from different backgrounds. It's important to make sure that we understand each other more. And yet our Fair Kitchens is also there to help. And like we both know, we launched it just before COVID. We had no idea that COVID was coming. And we launched it at the right time. And we've literally seen how many people out there, and I know, you know, in the industry that we work in, we've seen chefs that have really taken a knock. We've lost a lot of good chefs due to suicide, due to depression, not being able to go back into the environment that we work in. So once again, it's very important to make sure that you use our toll-free number, which is our Fair Kitchens toll-free number. It is completely anonymous. For those that have joined the call, please visit ufs.com. And once again, you know, we all go through something, from a mental perspective to something that is you know, affecting us on a work perspective, or a family. We always say don't bring family to work, but unfortunately we're all human. And this toll-free number allows you to speak to somebody. We have counselors on call 24/7. If you cannot get through, you leave a message, they'll get back to you. And like I said, completely anonymous, and you can just speak your heart out. And I think sometimes, you know, sometimes things are just a little bit too big and we cannot handle it ourselves, but we know that there's somebody else there that can literally just give you that guidance or just that listening ear. And I think that's so important, especially in today's day and age, especially what we're going through, not only as you know, as a country or as a region, and for yourself as well, but as, you know, as a world, as globally.
No, very nice platform for chefs or anybody in hospitality to actually dial in if they are needing some support there, and completely free, available 24/7.
Chef Mary, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, we touched on, you know, cost and, you know, the GP side of it. I know we've got some amazing tools that we obviously offer with regards to making sure that all our recipes are costed. Again, we also need to maybe look at the nutritional statements on recipes. Why are they there? And we provide all of these services as a chef's team. We make sure, and we pride ourselves on making sure that we cover those boxes. How have you seen, you know, the feedback that you've gotten with regards to, does it work, doesn't it work? You know, again, it boils down to training. How have you seen that impact, you know, your delis, and is it being used, or do you think it's not being used, and how can we assist?
Definitely, Chef Heidi. I think over the COVID period, I definitely think that the delis had a lot more time to reassess their costs and what have you. And I think they definitely have got smarter with making sure that they are keeping their costings up to date with their meals and menus. I think that some of them are actually looking at us or for advice and guidelines. So they definitely do use the tool. And then you've got your other retailers that actually have their own costing tool. So everything is actually loaded into the system. So our recipe would be loaded in there, which is really great. So then they can just automatically update it on a regular basis. But, generally you'll walk in with something new that you would like to show a deli. The first thing they want to know is what GP can I make? And, what is my cost on that? And that's the nice thing where we're actually able to help them with that costing tool.
So we offer between the regions and obviously Gauteng, we offer virtual training, and a couple of the sessions that I've done, I've really focused on costing use, what your GP will be at the end of the day. And I think it's very, very important to make sure that we obviously show this, and we even now have added a percentage of the dish. So working out from 100 and then saying, this is what the percentage of the dish is made up of. And this is the only percentage that we obviously make up of the dish. And it's quite good to know that it only makes up like 15% of the dish, because we always focus on, a price. It's critical that you obviously get the best GP, but at the end of the day, it's also making sure that, using a good product like any of the Unilever Food Solutions portfolio of products, it gives you the best taste, the best quality. And once again, you only use a small amount. And once again, for me, it's working across as many different recipes. Going back to what we've just launched, and obviously what we've seen in the industry is back to basics. Like I said, it's focusing on five top products within our portfolio. And again, it's using those top 5 products across as many different applications. And that's where we assist from a training perspective. Going back to the cost, I've done a lot of virtual sessions, and yourself as well, Chef Mary, where we focused on how to obviously work out your cost and why working with a nutritional statement and working with a recipe is so critical to reducing the wastage. It is something that we all know, but it's very important to make sure we always keep ourselves one step ahead of knowing that, yes, times change, yes, things change, but making sure we obviously keep that cost and that GP at a good platform, if I can put it that way.
Sure.
I just want to quickly touch on Ufs Academy. So those that have not downloaded this app, please visit your Google store today. Download the app. It's completely free. And what we've done is we've also focused on, and the chefs have introduced different cuisines per every single month. We focus on different topics. And on the Ufs Academy, you basically download this for apps, like I said, for free, and you can go onto this platform and train at any time. It is all visual, very impactful. It has a short quiz at the end. And if you pass this quiz, you automatically receive a certificate. And this is endorsed by the South African Chefs Association, also got international backing and recognition by the Culinary Institute of Culinary Arts. So once again, what we've done is we've done a lot of little videos on now in winter, looking at soups. We've done under 10 Rand soups, beautiful videos to go with that. And what we're also trying to focus on is making sure that we offer our deli operators meals between 20 Rand, under 20 Rand, under 10 Rand, and even under 5 Rand. So watch the space. We're basically working on some good content for the next quarter. And yes, we listen to what you have to say. That's why trends and insights are so important. The more we get to engage with you as deli operators, the more we can work on and obviously key touch points that we can help you and assist you with. So, Chef Mary, I have a very short poll, and I know behind you, I think that is the wonderful hamper. So anybody that's online, if you have any questions, are there any questions? I'm not too sure if we have any questions, but let's just have a look and see if we have any questions. And there's the wonderful hamper that we have on offer that we've put together. And if you'd like to, yes, thanks, Chef Mary. I've got 2 questions in the polls, and then we'll obviously give this wonderful prize away, and we'll send it to you ASAP. But let me just go to the polls quickly and ask these 2 questions. So first of all, my first question is, what are your 3 top selling dishes in your deli? So please choose out of the 3, either stews, grab and go, or curries. Let's start the poll. It's now open for voting. So what are your 3 top selling dishes in your deli? Is it stews? Is it grab and go? Is it curries? Great. I see grab and go sitting at 100%. Great. Nothing else is coming. Oh, curries. Oops, grab and go has dropped now to 33%, and curries at 67%.
Maybe because it's winter, Hardy.
Yes, definitely. Great. Thank you for that. So definitely curries. Okay. Right. And my next question is, let's start the next one. Close this one. Oh, sorry, everyone. Let's go back to this one. Right. It's quite interesting to see stews. There's nothing for stews. All right. So my next one is, how often do you train your deli staff? Is it once a month? Is it weekly? Or is it once a week? So how often do you train your deli staff?
Chef Heidi, have you started that poll? Can you see it now?
Can you see it? Sorry.
Yes.
So let me repeat that one. How often do you train your deli staff? Is it once a month? Is it weekly or once a week?
Okay, I think you closed it.
Oh, sorry.
But maybe they can just put their answers in the chat box.
Okay. Great. Right. Sorry about that. If you can just put your answers in the chat box. And the next question is, I'm going to start the poll. My next question is customer service important to you? So is it yes or is it no? Are you able to see that one? Yes. Very important. Okay. Right. Are there any questions? No questions?
Chef Heidi, I think you do have a question there.
There we go. Great. So Craig Elliott, thank you so much. I see we are looking at once a month for, and I take it that's for staff. All right. Great.
I think you need a bonus question here, Chef, to give away.
Do you think I need a bonus question?
Between you and Chef Mary.
What, to win the hamper?
Yes, please.
Chef Mary, what should we ask the audience?
Oh my God. what is their top seller on Grab and Go?
That's a good one.
If they could just type their answer into the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do we have?
If maybe you just want to repeat that.
Okay, so the question for the hamper is, what is the top seller in your deli for Grab and Go? So it could be a chicken mayonnaise sandwich, a wrap, a Coke bowl, hot meal presented cold, but tell us what it is. Needs to be your top seller.
Okay.
Right, so I think what we will do is we will do just a lucky draw, I think, Kasturi.
Yes.
And then we will get the customer's details, whoever's in the audience, we'll get your details, and then we'll actually courier the hamper to you guys. So 100%. Some really nice products to work with.
Perfect.
And thank you so much for putting that together for us. But from our side, thank you so much, Chef Mary, for joining this webinar today. I know it was a very last minute, but we really thank you so much. Thank you for your insights. It was really nice to gather those insights and obviously to see how different it is. And it's nice to see that everything's on par between Cape Town. And I think there's a lot, the Western Cape and KZN are on the same. For me, what was enlightening to see was that curries have really come through, which is great. And I know that Durban and the Western Cape are very well known for their different types of curries, different cuisines. So yes, from our side, thank you so much for joining us today on this wonderful webinar, Trends and Insights for 2022. And please join us for our next webinar. And don't forget to follow the chefs on Instagram, Chef Heckman Heidi. That's my Instagram handle. And please, Chef Mary, would you like to share yours?
And mine is Chef Worthington Mary. That's where you'll find me. So, yeah.
And we continuously, obviously, putting a lot of information and obviously a lot of content with regards to what we have on offer on a daily basis. So thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, Chef Mary. It's been great having you on board. And like you said, we will get that hamper out to whoever has joined this webinar today. All right. Great. Thank you. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.